We had talked before about Recall AI. It's a fun little tool that I use every single day of the week where you can download it on your phone. If you've got a million different YouTube videos or your favorite podcasts and all these things, and you're like, I don't have time to read all this stuff, you can dump this into Recall AI. I think it's much more effective of a tool versus Notebook LM, which is really focused more on studying and education. I think there are some features that Notebook LM from Google, which is free, does have an advantage over Recall. So say, for instance, you've got an article on, say, your industry, and you put it into Get Recall. Say there's 100 articles, and you've put it into Get Recall, where you can chat with all the articles and all the content that's been created. It'll analyze it, and it'll just talk to you just like a regular LLM. There is one thing that, let me see if I can pull it up here really quickly. This is actually a video about Figure AI, which has created a autonomous AI robot that can do laundry and do your dishes and do a lot of other fun stuff. So this just got launched last week. If you're bored, check out and follow Figure AI. But what you can do is you can literally log in, just copy the link for the YouTube video, put it into Recall, and it'll do the summary of the entire video. I won't go through it again just because we did do it before. All right, what's next? Comet Browser. I'm really excited about this news. Last week, Perplexity announced that Comet Browser is now free. I will put the link in the chat. Comet is built on Chrome. It is just like a Chrome browser, nothing new. But what it can do is mind-blowing, in my opinion, in terms of browsing. So I'm going to give you a couple examples here. So one thing that I do is I read the newspaper. I actually have the physical newspaper just outside. I actually try to read that every day as well. But if you're not reading the physical newspaper and you happen to have online, there's so many different articles, and typically what you end up doing is just reading what's on the front page. So I pulled up Wall Street Journal, Financial Times, and Bloomberg here. And as you can tell, there's a million different articles, complete waste of time. I don't have time to read all this content. But you want to know what's going on in the world relative to the stuff that is relevant to you. With Comet Browser, you can literally have the tabs. It'll actually even open up tabs and query against it to create a new workflow for yourself. So let's just say I'm on wallstreetjournal.com, and let's see, show me interesting articles about the private credit industry page. Let me see if it's going to do it right here. One of the things that I do is on a daily basis, it automatically runs in the background, takes all of the articles of all the different news sources that I'm using, and it summarizes all my content. So instead of saying I've got all these newspapers and I've got this information and it's all irrelevant because I don't have enough time, what you can use now with Comet Browser is it'll actually control the screen. So initially I was wondering, like, what is actually the use case of this? You know, it sounds like a really interesting tool, but it seems like a waste of time. I can't really figure out what's the value of it. One of the things that you can do is search all the different tabs that are open. It'll actually go one by one, and it'll create a list of the articles. So I had my Financial Times up. I wanted to learn about private credit because I own a private credit fund. It put all the different articles, and it put a link to each one. It went through Bloomberg, did the exact same thing, and it went through Wall Street Journal and did the exact same thing. There are other things that you can use it for that I didn't even think about, but the more that you use these tools, you keep on coming up with ideas. I think everybody on this call has experienced this, where you're like, I've logged into an application and I don't really know how to use it. That's like, I don't know, once in probably a week, I use a new application and I'm not exactly sure how to use that application. One of the things that we're going to learn about is called Parallel.ai. So Parallel.ai is a research tool. And this is the first time I'm telling you about it. First thing you might be saying is like, well, one, I don't have the time to figure out how this new tool works. I can't figure it out. Well, now what you can do is if you click this assistant here, I don't know how to use this tool. It's about doing deep research. Show me how to do a search about new AI topics coming up as a walkthrough of the tool. So what's cool about the tool is not only is it scanning exactly what's on your browser, it's also going to do research on the back end about whatever it is you're looking at. So for example, if you're looking at some new tool and like Parallel.ai, it's going to go do research about Parallel.ai, figure out all the documentation, the how-to guides, the step-by-step, and actually go through the process for you. So it says in the left rail, click deep research. So this is a manual step-by-step. We'll just say, I am lazy, do the work for me. I was just being a little funny there. But it will actually take over the process. Let's see if it'll do it for us. See how it goes blue right here? This means that the browser has been taken over by the AI assistant. You can always pause it or you can stop it. And it's going to actually follow step-by-step instructions that we just told it to do. See that? It literally copied and pasted it in there. I didn't do anything. And it's going to find where the buttons are, how to use the actual application. And it clicked start research and it's running it by itself. I mean, if you've ever been frustrated like me using any tool online, this is the perfect solution for you, which is probably every single person on this call. What is also coming out is full agentic operating systems. It's not fully out in the marketplace yet, but I've seen some of the demos of some of these new agentic operating systems. What does that mean? So instead of just taking control over your browser, the tool will take control over your entire computer. And it will literally click all the buttons and do all the work that you would normally do. Now, is there risk that's related to it? Absolutely. If you've got a lot of confidential information, if you've got a lot of things that could cause problems on your operating system, yes, it could cause problems, but you can see I have never used this tool and it literally did step by step, came up with a plan, did all the instructions, and it's following each one of those instructions.